And everyone, once again, I'm Jackson McKenzie, and I'm joined by my good friend Miro.
Hi there.
Here to bring you some ZVZ action from the EU server.
Yeah.
Miro's got replay.
Silver versus silver.
Yep. And want to go ahead and dive right in, Miro?
Indeed, I do.
Alrighty. Miro is normally a Terran player, so this should be very interesting.
Yes, this is very much an off-race thing for me. Initial thoughts on this map and matchup for yourself?
Well, ZVZ is a matchup that I quite enjoy, as you know. And, okay, we should do introductions. Spawning the bottom left, we have our zerg in red, Mimimuff.
And in the top right, we have the zerg in blue, one Miro.
Yes, way to introduce yourself. Yeah.
So, as you were saying.
Yeah, so, this matchup, I really like ZVZ. As you know, there are just so many different ways it can go. It's such a volatile matchup. You don't have that thing that you sometimes see in PvP and TvT, where it's just two identical armies slamming into each other. That rarely happens in ZVZ.
I would actually say that rarely happens in TvT as opposed to ZVZ. I'd say, well, yes, there is always going to be some discrepancy in ZVZ, such as upgrades or general army size or composition. Maybe Roach Hydra instead of Roach Infestor or Roach Baneling, as I've seen on occasion. But I'd actually say it's ZVZ is more likely to be Roach versus Roach clashes, and we have
okay. At least in the early game, you're gonna have roaches in your composition. At least in the early game, that's true.
Yeah, you are gonna have roaches in your composition. Typically, it's gonna be Lingbane Wars at the very early start of the game. But
I mean, I've seen some really interesting ZVZs where one player just committed to Mutiling Bane and the other one went Roach Hydra, and it was just two completely different armies zooming around the map.
But that happens less often than what I've seen, at least.
Yeah, I
too often.
Yeah, I seem to. I don't know. That's the impression I have of ZVZ. But then again, you play and watch a lot more than I do. Build orders. We've got a pool on 13 for Mimimuff.
It was a pool on.
And
are we sure? No, I don't think that sounds right. Shall we go back and investigate?
Let's go back and investigate. Alrighty. Let's zoom back a little bit.
Alright, we're gonna go back. It's only about a minute and a half anyway.
Yep. Alright, yeah, so let's actually pay attention to the build orders now instead of babbling about matchups.
We actually have a 12 pool for Miro, so it's an economic but safe opening.
Yeah. Pretty middle of the road. Takes the gas immediately as well. Gas before
14 pool for Mimi, and actually both of them are going gas after pool. But Miro's pool is slightly earlier.
Yep.
So I would suggest that would be an aggressive build type
for Miro.
Especially given that given that he's going immediately onto gas once they've finished.
Yeah. It's I think 12 pool is probably the most aggressive that I would consider to be anything remotely resembling safe. With an 11 pool or a 10 pool, if they decide to go with like 6 pool or something, it's really hard to fall back and defend.
Definitely. That was a nice hatch block, by the way. We have by Mimimuff,
but
at the cost of stacking a lot of minerals.
Hey, okay, hang on. We're going to have to... pause the replay, please. I'm sorry, that was a very ill-timed phone call. It's a telemarketer spam.
Indeed it is.
All right. Okay, let's continue.
God, I can't. I hate those things.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
so
about
the
that.
hatchery goes down
Mm-hmm.
for Miro at
Yep.
it is 17 supply, roughly
Mm-hmm.
3 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's
Yep.
it's actually that is a pretty economical opener,
Yeah.
and he's making 2 lings just to I can only assume
Mm-hmm.
as scouts, whereas Mimi currently has 6 lings out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it seems that she wanted to be more aggressive.
Well,
Interesting.
this is a Silver League game. This is a Silver League game, and
It is,
being
yes,
being
it
a
is, so she potentially overmade.
yeah, I think that
that's
was going on. What was going on, especially given that she didn't push out with them terribly early.
Yeah, agreed. Although that was an interesting thing to note. She tried to make a little hidden spine crawler there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
didn't work, but
so the hatchery for
interesting.
Mimi will finish maybe 20 seconds earlier than the hatchery for Mimi will. Sorry.
Yeah.
The hatchery for Miro will finish earlier than the hatchery for Mimi.
yeah. So despite the slightly more economic centered build for Mimi, we do have a faster natural for Miro. Mimi pushing out, taking some map control here.
The
I don't know what I think of this
supply-
Overlord
the worker
placement
supply
for,
actually favors Mimi somewhat.
Say again?
Sorry, yes.
I don't know what I think of
supply
this
is currently in
Overlord
favor of
placement.
Mimi 19 to 15.
I would
That
much rather
Overlord
see
was
it
actually
say
pushed away.
here.
I disagree. I would actually rather see it here over the ramp,
Okay.
because then you can see lings going through if you're trying
Right.
to be aggressive.
The
You
worry
have
there
map
is that
control
it's
with the watchtower
is that
and
it
stuff.
it's a very low health Overlord. All right, so we've got a speedling push out by
Yes,
Miro.
It was actually initially pushed away.
Yeah.
Yep. Going for the hatchery. Her speedlings are now pulling back from the hatch.
Yep.
From the watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think he's going to get this hatchery?
I
Queen pops out. Oh,
don't
that's
know.
A bad time for the queen to pop out.
Yeah.
That is a
Queen
terrible
does go
time for the
down.
queen to pop out and immediately goes down.
Mm-hmm. He might get this hatch. I don't know. Some good ling micro from Miro, and more lings streaming in.
By Mimi, so
He might get it.
I don't know. I think he's gonna get it. No, he's been away.
No, okay, he's been blocked.
Yeah, she saved that.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Yeah.
In the meantime, it's now 18 to 21 worker supply, but the army supply is pretty even actually, all things considered.
Yeah. Got 10 more lings coming out from Miro. Mimi
Yeah,
Mimi
okay.
just now starting on ling speed. Also with +1
Oh, okay, that's
and some
+1.
+1 attack for the speedlings.
So she is.
And banelings coming
So
out from
she
Miro.
is. Her speed is rather late. I do
Yeah.
like the addition of the Bling Nest, however, for Miro. That said, the spine crawler that's just finishing now will likely help ward that away if Mimi can control her units.
Yeah.
Well, 4 banelings moving over along with a bunch of marines, zerglings.
Yeah. Miro now with pretty solid map control. Neither player going for a third. You're just sitting on 2 bases, poking at each other with lings at this point.
Yeah, that said, Miro does have a significant economy lead, given that
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
Actually, it's not that significant. It's 26 to 24, but he's got his natural mining,
Yeah.
whereas Mimi does not.
Yeah. Two Evo chambers completing for Miro. He goes for the armor first. Miro's
Which is
Miro's
not a
lings
bad
attacking into the
choice.
teeth of Mimi's lings plus spine crawler. There's banelings.
Oh,
Not-
those banelings.
Those banelings not really getting good
any connections,
detonations.
but those They weren't, but God, that was really close.
Yeah.
I like taking the singling out to try and
pop that
the
baneling.
too
Yeah.
well guarded. I'm surprised we haven't seen Mimi try and okay, Miro's pulling back.
Yeah, that was an excellent defense, I would say, by Mimi.
I agree. That was very very well defended. However, I'm surprised we don't see a counter attack from her. To be honest, given the amount of lings.
Yeah. Well, speed has just now finished, and the banelings are still slow. So, all right, we've got another push coming out by Miro.
Did Miro lose his banelings? What do we have? Units. No,
Yeah.
it's one baneling to 4 banelings. Okay.
Yeah.
This.
All right, we've got 3 more banelings on the way.
This could be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued actually.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say Mimi needs to start getting more upgrades, but there comes the +1 carapace. I'd really like to see her drop down another Evo chamber.
Yeah, I agree.
She's on +1 now.
I think Miro's +1/+1 is going to finish.
Yeah, with the timing, if she's going to push out, she needs to do it now before those upgrades hit, and I don't think she's going to.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but
yeah, while she's got the advantage there,
taking a third.
She's got a very powerful defense here, but she needs to be more proactive.
She does, yes. That said, Miro's adding on roaches. We don't see... Oh, and baneling speed. That's interesting.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
While Mimi's going up to a lair.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you, though. I would like her to see her add on a second evolution chamber.
Mm-hmm. I like her use of these scouting lings. She's
I do too.
and she's not frittering them away. She's getting good intelligence for her minerals.
Oh, okay. Well, he's clearly seen the number of banelings, but that spine crawler is whittling away.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah, those banelings are keeping him at bay.
That was a baneling hit by Mimi.
Yeah. Mimi down in the economic game, but showing some really good military control. Now, granted, she doesn't have all that much to control. She's being very defensive, but she's got a good composition. She's using it. She's using it very well in this limited area around the entrance to her natural. I think she needs to really start being more proactive.
She's actually got a reasonable amount of map troll, given that her lings have control of one of the watchtowers, and she's got overlord placement all over the top.
Yeah, that's true.
The center of the map, so she does.
Is it? No, she doesn't have either tower. Miro has both towers.
So she does. I do apologize.
Yeah, Mimi has an overlord at the closer tower to her.
She's got 3 overlords at the closer tower.
Yeah.
But she does have that 4th overlord, and we're starting to see some creep spread.
Yep.
And Miro's taking his 3rd now, so he will actually have a lot more production.
Miro attacking into the teeth of Mimi's defensive line. Oh, those baneling hits! Oh, those baneling hits were huge by Miro.
Yeah.
That was enormous. That was enormous. That was...
Do you think that...
I think Mimi has lost this.
Potentially game ending.
Yeah.
I think this.
I think that was game over right there.
With the loss of the econ, I think this is it. Oh, she does have 2 Evo chambers.
Yeah, she does
One
now.
Is part of the wall that is not not particularly effective now.
Yeah. Yeah, though that was enormous.
Now, so
huge baneling detonations.
Massive baneling detonation.
Yeah. And that was the game ender right there.
Yeah,
Mimi is going to hold her main, but I don't think there's any way she's coming back from this. Not against the level of play we've seen from Miro.
I agree. Given the army supply is 18 to 51 now, and the drone supply is 12 in favor of Miro.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult.
Yeah,
to,
another wave coming out from Miro.
From this. Especially given that Miro's now got +2. Oh no, that's Mimi. Sorry, I do apologize. Mimi's actually.
Mimi's about to get +2 attack for the lings.
Yeah, do you think it's possible for her to hold it with +2?
She might hold
I'd
this
say
push.
given the durability of those roaches, it's possible, but highly unlikely.
Yeah, I don't.
But I don't.
Yeah, she might hold this
I don't see
push,
it happening.
maybe, but I don't see her coming back from this at all.
No, she's lost her army now.
Yeah.
It's gone, and the
Yeah.
hatchery's about to go.
There it
There's
is,
the
GG.
and well played by both players.
Yes,
Well played by both
definitely.
players.
Very, very impressive defense from Mimi. That was
Yeah, that was actually
probably the best Silver League based defense I've ever seen by a Zerg.
I am certainly inclined to agree.
Yeah, very, and she said this was only her 6th league game. Did she say that
Something along
in
those
chat?
lines. Let me check. This is her 6th league game. Yes.
Yeah, if this is her 6th league game and she's playing at this level,
She's going to go
she
very far.
she's got great control, great mechanics for Silver League. If this is only her 6th league game, she's improving rapidly. Just needs to get more experience, learn the meta, learn the timings, and learn the middle game, which is one of the biggest hurdles for me when I was starting off, was learning how to transition from the opening mentality to the mid-game mentality. And I don't feel like Mimi
into the
ever
mid-game
really did that.
She certainly tried. When she
Yeah.
got the when Miro got the roaches out, it was
Yeah.
hers were pretty close, but it was just too little, too late, and ultimately Miro had the better economy.
Yeah. Alrighty, well played by both players. An excellent ZVZ. Very tense. And some great plays by both players.
It was actually it was one of the better ZVZs that I've seen at a low level. At low level.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Alright, well, once again, I'm Jackson McKenzie.
And I am Miro.
Had to sit there and remember your name for a second? Or did you just forget how I do sign-offs?
Just a kind of a bit of this and a bit of that.
Yeah, bit from column A, bit from column B. And once again, this is StarCraft 2.